Hey, Shalom, Kohala, Yahweh Bashmi, Al Shai Bashmi, Chodash, the ones and apostles of great millstone, and Shalom, true brothers in the highways and byways, doing the work sincerely and faithfully, and continue fighting that good fight of faith, Lord willing, we are found in that number to be delivered. All right, so I got a quick one. A lot of you brothers may have already known about this, but I'll throw it out there as well for those who don't know concerning the congestion pricing in New York City. All right, and it says everything you need to know, including start date, exemptions, and a map. All right, so anybody who's traveled to New York or traveled through New York in them city blocks, it's crazy as far as the traffic and the congestion. It is crazy. It is, but at the same time, people aren't traveling because they want to travel. Most people are trying to get to work, get home, and have to deal with all that shit on a daily basis is bad enough, let alone now charging you to be caught up in that traffic. All right, a lot of people don't have access, outside of the city itself where they may live, to get the public transportation. And in fact, quite frankly, nobody wants to use public transportation no more, because it's getting to the point where there's no love for the people anymore. So people are on edge on a daily basis, and most people don't want to deal with no shit like that. But let's read a little bit about this new congestion pricing. All right, it says the new guidelines for Manhattan could kick in as early as this June, and this is dated Tuesday, March 26th, a few days ago. Scroll down. It says everyone is talking about the congestion pricing plan that will force drivers to pay $15 every time they enter Midtown Manhattan. All right, so there's a chart down here. Let's take a look at the chart real quick. Okay, the chart says this is the congestion zone. So anything inside of the red lines is going to be known as the congestion zone, and therefore a large truck is going to be $36 every time it enters in to the congestion zone. A small truck, $24. A regular passenger vehicle, $15. Motorcycle, $7.50. Ride share, $2.50. And taxis, $125. All right. So all in all, any and everybody that comes through that red zone, that congestion zone, you're gonna be paying. Even if you're going to drop something off for somebody, you're gonna have to pay $15 to go drop some shit off. And again, the people are already strapped, man. People are already strapped. Gas prices being as high as they are, car insurance being as high as they are. Now you have to factor in this congested pricing into your daily life, man. All right. So let's take a look at this here, right? Let's take a look. So they said $15 times, if you work out there 5 days a week, let's just go 5 days a week. All right, that's $75, right? 75 times 4 equals $300. All right, so if you entering in every day each month on your work week, that's $300 a month you got to kick up to enter into Midtown Manhattan. All right, the business district, if you will. All right, so that's a burden right there. So now let's project it out for 6 months. 300 times 6 is $1,800 for 6 months. So now you have to factor in. You're gonna have to factor in every 6 months. You got to kick in $1,800 just to enter in. That's not including parking. That's not including your gas. That's just getting in to the congestion zone. $1,800 for 6 months. All right. So that's not a cheap feat, man. That's not cheap to have to deal with that. Let's go back up to the top, lead a little more. It says drivers to pay $15 every time they enter Midtown Manhattan. Although an official start date has yet to be announced, the MTA lawyer recently revealed that officials are likely going to kick things off in mid-June. So that's right around the corner. All right, it's going to be here faster than you know it. All right, so to ease your worries or perhaps enhance them, we put together this handy little guide trying to shit just jumped up. Okay, we put together this handy little guide trying to dissect everything you need to know about the new congestion pricing in NYC. All right. What is the congestion pricing toll? To put it very simply, once a new plan goes into effect, every time drivers enter a specific area of Manhattan, they will be charged a fee. What does the congestion in NYC start? In February, during the meeting in New Jersey federal court, a lawyer for the MTA announced that the congestion pricing toll could start as early as mid-June. That being said, officials have not made any announcement about the timeline just yet. It is important to note that before the new guidelines start being implemented, they will have to be checked by Federal Highway Administration to go through an environmental assessment. And this it just goes on and on. That's pretty much what I'm gonna read on that. But you get the gist of what's gonna go on out there. All right. When they started talking about putting tolls on the parkways way back when, people was baffled. Like, what you putting tolls, on these little roads for? We ain't on the main stretch. But again, this is Esau and his ways. They're trying. If you look, man, if you're aware of what's happening, they're starting to shut shit down. All right. You think this is only going to be exclusively for this congestion zone in Manhattan? Absolutely not. This is the test run. All right. And then before you know it, it's going to spread through all 5 boroughs, and then from there, from state to state. All right. And then what? You ain't gonna have enough money to get food, to keep the lights on, keep gas in your car, to keep insurance, to keep the maintenance. All right. So Esau slowly but surely shutting this bitch down, man. And if you can't see it, then you blind. All right. This is Isaiah 10:1. It says, "Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that rate grievousness which they have prescribed." All right. To the just the average person getting up working, however many hours they work during the week, this is a very heavy added expense unto him or her. Okay? And again, it's going to be very grievous to a lot of people. Now when you go to work, now you got to pay just to cross over a couple streets. Oh, you know what? There was something that was said in one of those articles, right here. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, this is it here. It says, what are the congestion pricing hours? According to the proposed plan, any car entering Manhattan below 60th Street will pay a fee. However, the price will change depending on the hours of the day. Between 5 a.m. and 9 p.m. on weekdays, motorists will be charged the full fee. On weekends, those hours morph to 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Outside the peak times, the toll will still apply, but will likely cost about 75 cents less than the full price. All right. So no matter how you slice it, if you try to beat the punch, let me get there at 4:30. You still gonna have to pay something, man. They ain't gonna just let you slide around no more for free. All right. Everything's gonna cost. Okay. And how much will drivers be charged, as we read earlier on the little map up above. Passenger vehicles 15, small trucks 24, large trucks 36, motorcycles $7.50, taxi drivers $1.25 per ride. Uber and Lyft, other ride shares $250. And they had this, and the reason why it's so cheap for the taxi drivers and Ubers and Lyft, because according to the MTA, what is it? What is it called? According to the MTA, is it? Yeah, the MTA. They said that the taxi industry has been hit so hard in New York City over the past 20 years that they deserve to be not fully exempt, but exempt from that full price. But it's only a matter of time, I believe, before they decide to just up the price all across the board. Once they see how much money they're gonna start generating from this, you can forget it. So now, again, you got your car insurance. If you got a car payment, your gas, your parking fees. Now you got to add this congestion zone fee, and not to mention the regular tolls that you are going to come across just trying to get down to the congestion zone. All right. So I believe that this whole thing that's being put in place right under people's noses, man, they're going to shut it down. They're going to ultimately shut it down, especially when it comes time to usher in that new world order, if you will. I'll put it that way. Okay, 2 Ezra 15 and 17 says, "A man shall desire to go into a city and should not be able." All right, people are gonna have to come to some serious crossroads, and factoring in the dollar amount, after a year, you're gonna have to pay anywhere up to $3,600 a year just by coming and going into Manhattan, man. $3,600. So if you think that is a just act for the common people, you dead wrong. And they don't give a shit. They're gonna shut that bitch down. They're gonna shut all this shit down. Okay? Because now they're going to try to establish their one world order. And by doing that, what do you have to do? You got to bring the people to their knees, man. You got to make them beg for mercy. Bring them to their knees. And then only when they're down on their knees, they'll try to now give you, the solution to what the problems are. And you're going to have to take it, whether you want to or not, man. And this is why we of the hopeful elect trust and hope that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai watches over us, that no harm come unto us, and none of these evils that are going to be upon the land, come nigh unto us. All right? So I just want to shoot that out there real quick. I'm going to end it with that. Lord willing, I'm going to see y'all another one. I say shalom.